Okay, my YouTube friends. So we're talking flappers today, and I don't care which one we're looking at. Okay, like this is a universal corky that'll fit in most toilets, but you're gonna find a lot of cola toilets take very specific flappers. This happens to be a cola, but I'm not just talking about colas. I'm talking about any flapper. So let's say, because these just snap on. There's two ears that snap on, and then the chain length you're worried about. So, but the thing I'm talking to you guys about today is like, you see this is the old flapper went bad, and you see all this red stuff here. It's just residual rubber from the old flapper. As you can see, I rub it and it comes right off. But if you put a new flapper on and you leave this residual stuff from the old flapper, the new one's not going to get a good seal, and you're still going to have a toilet problem. So just rub this stuff off with your finger or a towel or something. This is all clean water in this part of the toilet. You don't got to worry about anything gross. But get that residual flapper off. You may not have it, you may have it. And then it's just a matter of slipping the flapper over the ears. There's one ear over there, and the other ear is over here, okay? And then you got the chain length. What I like to do is count the links on the old chain and just move the hook on the new chain. Let's say there was 13 links, you'd move the new one to 13 links. Let's say you don't have a good reference on the old flapper because someone messed with it and you're pushing the handle and the chain's too long. So you're just gonna like hold the chain up to where the flush arm is from the lever and take about an inch away and put the see, I'm moving the lever. Here's the flush arm here, right? You see it. So I would like take the chain and hold it next to there and make a note of the link that's like right next to it when it's tight. And then I'm going to take about an inch away, or add an inch, and put the clip right there. The one thing you want to be careful for is that when this is like all the way up, that the ears aren't stretched out on this, that eventually it would rip there. And also that it's not so loose that when it's all the way up, the flapper doesn't open enough to get away from the suction and stay open when it's flushing. So it's like a happy medium there. But that's basically the flapper adjustment. But like I said, counting the links is probably the easiest way. And this is a 400A, a Fluidmaster 400A. So this fill valve, that's the flapper. This whole assembly here is the flush valve. This fill valve is basically a 400A, Fluidmaster 400A, which is probably like the easiest to install. Right there, it's like a perfect match. It's just different colors, but you can see it's the same exact thing. And basically you're gonna wanna shut the water off down there. And again, like with all my toilet videos, when you turn this back on, when you're done, you're going to want to check behind this knob that it's not dripping, because these hardly get ever used. So when they do get used, they tend to just drip a little bit. And if yours does drip, there's a nut right behind this knob here. It's called a packing nut. You're going to want to put a wrench or adjustable pliers on there and give it like 1/8 of a turn. Just a little bit. Tighten that packing nut up and that'll stop any drip there, if you notice a little drip on the floor after you turn it back on. So we're going to shut that off, and then we're going to come under here, and we're going to take this supply line off, and we're going to take this nut off, and then of course we have emptied out the tank. We bailed it out with a cup or a rag or a sponge, and after you take those two off, this will come right out. You're going to match it up with the new one, and the instructions are in the box, but this is adjustable length. I can't do it with one hand. But this collar comes up and you can adjust the length. So you take this one out and you match it up and you make it the same length. Lock it back in. Install this one oriented the same way as this one, which would be like this, not like that, because it would probably be hitting the walls if you did that. And put your tube on and stick your tube. The water from the tube goes in the pipe, and what that does is it gives you your rim feed when you flush. That water that comes out from around the bottom of the rim, that is the hose, is your rim feed. So it's very important that it goes in the pipe. And then you're going to put your supply line back on. Of course, I always like to use a new supply line every time. You put your supply line back on and turn your water on and check for leaks. check that your flapper chain is the correct length, and you're all done. Clean up and you're all done. So this is a Kohler one-piece job, but it's not a Rialto. It's a 1.6 gallon Kohler. So there's just another one. I'm going to put a link right here to my playlist of toilet repairs. If this indeed isn't the correct toilet that you need to learn how to do, check my playlist. There's all kinds of usually you'll have the fill line is like marked here on the back of the tank. It'll say like fill line, and these 400As are a little bit adjustable by turning this like an inch up and down. But you're going to want to, after you turn back on, you're going to want to check that you got a good flush, your fill line is correct. You're going to want to check that this is in a good position where most of the water is going where it belongs. And then again, you're going to want to check that underneath there to make sure. And I usually check it by just putting my finger behind the knob and checking that my finger's dry. I put it on the shaft. Yep, we're good there. And then we just clean up. And that's it. This is looking really good. So you can see I got a little free play on the flush arm, but when you flush, it's enough to knock that flapper up to float until the water level drops, and it boink, it reseals right then and there. So overall, it took like 7 or 8 minutes, and and another thing, I would never just do the flapper. Me personally, I always do the flap and the fill valve, which is the flapper and the fill valve. It's just me because I don't want callbacks, because, you know, it's Murphy's Law. Guaranteed, you know, you think, oh, I just need a flapper, so you change the flapper, and then like a week later the fill valve goes bad. So as long as I'm doing this stuff, basically I do everything in the tank, one shot, and get it done, plus the new supply line underneath. And that's just how I roll. So guys, thanks for watching. Don't forget to rate, because it really helps me out. This is a paid gig, this YouTube thing, and the rating really helps me out. Sub, that really helps out too. And don't be afraid to use the comment box, because other YouTube users come, they may read your comments. You may actually help somebody out in the future with your question or comment. So don't be afraid to use the comment box. See you later.